Hello and welcome back to another BadCompany tutorial. Today we're looking at the Lightning on the NoMod server, or the Blackwasp if you will. I wanted to cover this as it's one of the most important vehicles on the server. The purpose of the Lightning in this server is to provide cap support for your team. If the player population is high, then you're going to see things like Shikras, Griffins, Neophins, and Zeons flying around the skies, causing havoc for the transport pilots in your team. And if the transport pilots are dead, then the entire server becomes grounded until these enemy planes are dealt with. And it's not just the jets. Enemy casts such as the Kajmans, Hellcats, and also the aforementioned Zeons have the ability to get rid of any friendlies that are inside the AO as if it was dirt on your kitchen floor. So now that you understand what the stakes are, if there isn't a capable Lightning pilot on the server, let me teach you how to actually use this plane. It's actually much easier than you might think. So let's start at base. The Lightning will spawn in this first hangar, closest to the Arsenal Dome. Once you're inside it, hold U and 1 to access the server's main menu. Turn your view distance up as much as you can before your PC explodes, and then this takes you into the runway and take off. To take off, make sure your flaps are fully down, and then full throttle all the way down while pulling up until you're off the ground. Put your gear and flaps back up, turn your radar on with left control plus R, and expand your radar to max range with right control plus right square bracket. To lock onto enemy aircraft, press R on your keyboard. This not only locks, but also cycles through available targets on your radar if you keep pressing it. Now please note, the radar missiles on the Lightning aren't always reliable in hitting the thing you have locked if there are other aircraft in between or behind the aircraft you want to hit. I would suggest not firing radar missiles if there are any friendly aircraft in your line of fire. Instead, you can adjust and come from a different angle. Getting shot down by the thing you're expecting to save you isn't the most fun experience, in my opinion at least. The AMRAAMs have a max range of about 13 kilometers, but you can't really lock onto targets within a kilometer. This is where your heat-seeking missiles come into play. To get the best out of your heat-seekers, I would suggest locking the target first, let them dump their flares, and then once the flares have gone, then fire your missile roughly within that kilometer. Even then, sometimes the missile will just go for the flares. These missiles have a max range of about 4.5 kilometers and a minimum range of about 150 meters. So anywhere in between that is typically where you want to fire, but I would suggest using the 1 kilometer area instead. Now if the heat seeker fails, then instead you can use your 20mm Vulcan rotary cannon. I prefer using this method regardless of how many missiles I have, if the enemy aircraft are a considerably large distance from the AO, as it saves you having to rearm your missiles constantly after each engagement, as rearming all the time will just eventually result in your friends getting killed by aircraft that spawn in while you're sitting next to an ammo truck on the ground reading all the cries for help in chat. The gun auto ranges if you lock onto the target, so you just have to point the cursor onto the aircraft and fire. I would try to just burst fire to conserve your ammo, as you will definitely need it. Like I say, I only really use this method on paratrooper transport helis that spawn a fair distance from the AO. If the helis are spawning next to the AO, then I would just use the missiles. To actually find out if a UAC is about to spawn, use your map, look at the bottom left of the map. This is usually called the debug corner. This is where you can see if a UAC is about to spawn. Once the UAC disappears from that corner, then it's usually on the map somewhere, so just keep an eye out for where it spawns. When it comes to rearming, you can use the ammo, fuel, and repair trucks at the community created FOB in the middle of the map. This is the big runway. But if the AO is too close to this area, then you could just head back to base. And if you're really lucky, then you might have a nice engineer that set up a FARP at the salt flats for friendly vehicles to use. So, quick synopsis. Don't die, take off, don't die, engage, don't die, rearm, don't die. All you need to really know for the Lightning really. I ain't teaching you how to fly it, that's what the editor's for. So get some practice in, place some targets down in the editor for yourself to shoot at or be shot by to learn how to evade and use flares. Then once you're confident that you'll be okay, hop back on the server and kill any enemy air before they even get a chance of seeing the AO. Good luck against Shikras and adios.